The National Anti-Galamsey Task Force, Operation Vanguard, says bribery allegations against the force are a smear campaign by people who are bent on perpetrating illegal mining in the country. Incoming Commander Colonel Michael Amwa Eyisi has backed his predecessor to dismiss such claims. He takes over from William Ejapong, who earlier last week rubbished the allegation that personnel of the task force had been compromised in their work. Nana Sensu Mensah witnessed a handing over ceremony at the operations headquarters at Obuasi.
Richmond Bwedi is brother of the victim and spokesperson of the family. He wants the task force to exercise patience in its operations in mining communities, or people will continue to die innocently.
Are they here to protect us or kill us? We are not at war. I plead that they exercise patience, else they will be killing innocent people. Please have asked that we bring an autopsy report, so we are waiting for the doctor to conduct the post-mortem. We believe the police will do a good work.
Both family and residents debunk claims the 31-year-old man, Kwabna Ajimai, was killed in heated gunshot battle with the task force.
The Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology College of Engineering is taking steps to replace obsolete training equipment. Provost of the college, Professor Mark Adoma Samoa, says many of the college's laboratories for the over 40 programs have become outmoded, and the labs also have limited space. Hundreds of qualified applicants are usually turned away for lack of space at the college, which has the highest student population of some 5,400. Lava FM's Kwesi Debra reports.
With Ghana government guarantee, the World Bank has provided $13 million worth of equipment to the petroleum and petrochemical engineering laboratories. The college also used 5.6 million euros of internally generated funds to procure part of an estimated 20 million euros required for full overhaul. Professor Adoma Samoa wants support, especially from corporate Ghana.
We needed about 20 million euros to be able to get a complete overhaul of all the equipment that we have. Currently, we've been able to get equipment worth 5.6 million euros. And this we have done from our internally generated funds. And we are hoping that we will be able to get further support from the government to be able to get the full complement of what we need to undertake training of our students.
Meanwhile, Siemens has donated automation solution kits worth $25,000 to the college. The company will also sponsor foreign training of 2 professors of the college.
We seek a strong partnership with the university, during which we'll be able to support with setup of laboratories that will be used to train students at the university. We plan to support the university by providing equipment at the labs that would enable the university to train students using current technology that is being used in the industry. And the purpose of this is to make the students readily employable when they leave the universities. So this way, students can live here and they can be readily embedded into industry with very little additional training requirements.
The 2 institutions have already signed a memorandum of understanding to that effect. Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
More than 24 hours after a 19-year-old student of the Zuarungu Senior High School in the Upper East region died from meningitis, health officials there are yet to respond to claims by the student's family that they are to blame for her death. The final-year student died on Sunday after being admitted to the hospital with suspected meningitis. However, the family believes that The health officials who first attended to her did not do enough to ensure her recovery. Upper East Region correspondent Albert Sorry has more in this report.
There is an atmosphere of grief here at the house of Brima Abelingwin. His 19-year-old daughter has died from suspected meningitis. Rukaya Brima was taken ill while in school at the Zwarungu Senior High School here in Bolgatanga in the Upper East Region. Her elder brother, Laminu, recounts the events that took place after the family was called to come and see Rukaya at the Bolgatanga hospital where she was on admission.
A friend of hers said to the hospital. So when they got there, they gave them drugs all right, but they sent the drug back to school only to realize that it was an expired one. So they quickly rushed back there with the drugs. Then they asked them to change the drugs for them. Actually, according to them, they said they didn't change the drugs to them. So it was in the morning around 5:30 when my father called me and said I should join him and we go. Together we got there. The nurses were all with her. So we entered. They were saying all of us who cannot enter because there is a suspicion on cerebrospinal meningitis, that is CSM. So I quickly moved back and my father entered. Then they gave me a folder to go and pick drugs and come. That is where they took a sample of blood to go and do tests, and those tests were CSF and then CSM. The CSF tube was ready for test, and the CSM tube was not ready. So I got there and they told me that the whole regional hospital, they don't have a tube for CSM. So I took the other test and I sent it back. When I got there, my sister's condition was worsening.
Rukaya died on Sunday and was buried same day according to Islamic principles. Her family is still in shock. They feel that Rukaya could have been saved had health officials at the Bolgatanga hospital been proactive in handling her condition.
Well, they detected it was CSM. They were supposed to take an immediate action, and they refused to do that. And they allowed her to lie there for 2 days. So as he lay there, then the virus multiplied and killed her. So my blame goes to the hospital members. They killed my sister. If you suspected a particular disease, what you need to do is that you need to take an immediate action on that particular disease. How can you suspect CSM 2 days? You've never taken in action.
Brima Abelingwin, Rukaya's father, recalls speaking to her when she called him on phone to report about her illness. She called me and said she was not feeling well. So I told her to come home, but she said they were about to begin their exams. The next day, I called her and she told me she had gone to the hospital and was given some drug. But when she got back to school, she realized the drug had expired. So she was to go back to the hospital. That evening, I called her again and she didn't answer her phone. The next day, they called and asked me to come to the hospital. When I got there, my daughter could no longer speak. Rukaya is the third senior high school student to die from meningitis in the Upper East Region. Last week, one student from the Boko Senior High Technical School and another from the Timpani Senior High School died from meningitis after outbreaks of the disease in their various schools. At least 14 other students from the 3 senior high schools mentioned have also been admitted in hospital with suspected meningitis in the last 1 week. Last Thursday, Upper East Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Winfred Ofosu, assured of their readiness to handle cases of meningitis.
We will always have upsurge of meningitis cases because we are in meningitis endemic area. So we always prepare, one, to detect the cases and then also to manage them. So in terms of the logistics and stocks at our health facilities, they are already there. And the public sensitization of information is also ongoing. What we really need that the public, when you are sick or you feel unwell, you should report the health facility.
However, regarding the specific case that resulted in Rukaya's death, health authorities are yet to make a public statement. For Joy News, Albert Sori, reporting from Bolgatanga.
And for the millions of households that have water running through their taps, portable water as clear as they get it is taken for granted. Some homes actually do not trust the water that runs through their taps. They resort to sachet or bottled water. There are, however, millions of other households for whom potable water is actually luxury. JoyNews' Jojo Kobna visited Kuliyeri in the West district of the Upper West region and met a family whose first encounter with potable water was apparently the water bottle he carried on him for his trip around the country. And he reports it tasted so good, they scrambled over it.
The sun goes down in Kuliyeri, a village in the West district of the Upper West region. The community of about 120 residents has no access to potable water, not even a borehole. Incidentally, we chanced on this elderly lady going in search of water and followed her to this dugout. The footprints show the residents have to share this water source with animals. The other water source the community relies upon is some 10 minutes away. Though they don't have to share this water with animals in the community, it is really no better. Interestingly, they make no effort to treat it. Their greatest fear now, though, is that this dugout could soon dry up and they would have to walk a longer trip to fetch water. Following a request for some of the empty bottles we had in our vehicle so they could use it to fetch water, I offered the residents one of our bottled water, and the reaction of patients Akosi Nyibo was priceless. She now recounts how the dugout water makes her sick. A clinician at Dayiri Chips compound, Albert Ade, confirms that residents are often rushed to her facility with diarrhea.
Currently, due to their lack of potable water, especially the children do come here with diarrhea. And sometimes too, they have skin rashes as well. Normally, since they don't have a borehole, we do advise them or we do educate them on how to make the water a suitable one for them to take. Like by after fetching, letting it settle for some time, then they do boil it and sieve it before taking. But due to the process that it will go through, some do neglect those advice that we give them.
Patience, after her first encounter with bottled water, tells me drinking from the pond will be difficult. The rest of the family then scrambled for a chance to also taste bottled water for the very first time in their lives. Meanwhile, with 7,000 cedis or a little over $1,000, The entire community of Kuliyere could make this once-in-a-lifetime experience of something potable water a lifestyle. Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
And JoyNews is learning 3 out of the 7 teenagers who sexually molested a young girl at Bantama in the Ashanti region have been arrested. 4 others said to have been involved in the act, which was captured on video and circulated on social media, are being pursued by the police. The police, a few hours after the video went public, issued a statement saying they had begun investigations into the incident and urge anyone with relevant information to report to the police, and also ask media houses as well as persons in possession of the video to stop circulating it. The video, which is about 5 minutes, shows the lady pinned down to a mattress by one of her abusers, while his accomplices took turns in what happened to be an attempt to penetrate her. And that's it for the latest news headlines we have. We'll do a review of the newspapers very soon. We'll look at what stories are on the front and back pages of the newspapers. We'll do a review of the various online portals. We'll do all that when we're right back after this break.